Mrs. Whisperer is like, there's a fish that she really likes in here. Yeah, but I need 2 lots like that, all right? And I mean, when I say small, these will pretty much fit anywhere. It is a very, very small drum.
Yeah, on there, please, madam.
And she just said she's seen one she likes. You want it? Because they're just not man enough on their own. And add it into the chicken to make sure what I've done is removed all the chlorine. Sometimes they get a bit stiff. That one certainly is a bit stiff. So I'll be fitting them today. Also, I like that as well. James the Koi Whisperer, welcome back to the channel. All of that yibbity yabbity being said, coming up on this video, I'm going to be taking you on a little bit of a journey. I need to change the carbon that's in my big blues, but I need to go and get some first. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. Hopefully you can like the video for me, subscribe to the channel if you're new. All of that yibbity yabbity being said, let's just crack on with this video. Bosh. Right then, so we've just come up to Southwest Koi, got the tribe with me. I have been informed I've got to be in and out, so I'll show you real quickly. Right, so I've come up today to get some cartridge blocks to do the bit of a rechange.
One of each?
Yeah, but I need 2 lots like that, all right? And then I need to find some carbon. Hopefully she pays the bill as well. I thought I would just show you some of the new fish. And to be fair, I've just spotted some new drum filters. I've never seen these before. It's got to be the smallest drum filter in the world. Check these out. Anyone that's got a small little quarantine system, cracking little idea. And I mean, when I say small, these will pretty much fit anywhere. Looks well, decent quality made as well, to be honest with you. I'm not sure on the make or where they're from. I've never seen a drum filter as small as what this is. And to be honest with you, I might have to buy this one. Certainly thinking about buying this to go onto my quarantine tank, or as a lot of people know on the channel, Jacob's Pond. That is a tiny little drum filter. That's no more than sort of 12 inches across there. Outlet, tiny little waste tray. That's a mega little idea. I'm not sure who makes these, but it's certainly well put together anyway. All of the cogs in there, look. I think I might have to get one of these and try it out. Certainly something for me to think about. Well, everyone knows the size of a bottom drain. So in comparison, because cameras are always hard to do justice, so for people that know the size of a bottom drain, I'll put it next to this filter for you, so you get a bit of an idea. So that's the size of a bottom drain, and that's the size of the drum. So it is a very, very small drum. I don't think it's going to be mega expensive either. And a lot of people that's got a little grow-on project or indoor project for mechanical filtration, certainly worth a little bit of a go anyway. So I'm going to find out a little bit more information about this, and I can let you guys know a little bit more information. Well, to be honest, if I end up buying it myself anyway, you guys will see what it's like anyway when it's on the little grow-on tank that I've got, which is my boys pond. All of that yibbity yabbity being said, the shop's had a little bit of a change round, but I haven't got time to give you a full tour because we're literally passing by. And I said to Mrs. Whisperer, we were going to nip in and nip out, but that never happens when you come to these koi dealers, does it? Some wicked quality fish here. And I've always liked that Sankey. One thing I have noticed as well, they've got all the JS Koi Backy showers here. So if you are interested of getting a JS Koi Backy shower, Dave at Southwest Koi's got them here available, which all different sizes. You can come up, have a look, and very affordable prices as well. But I am going to pick up one of these today because I've got a little idea in the garden, and I do want to get one of these as well. But Mrs. Whisperer says we've got no room left in the garden, but I'm sure I've got room to put these guys. I really like the look of them as well. And everybody likes it when I give a little bit of a bird's eye view at Southwest Koi, because it is a massive facilities, and when you are up here you get to witness all of the fish from above, and I absolutely love it. But I need to get home and show you guys how I'm going to change this big blue. Going to have a little bit of a look out here real quickly, just to have a little bit of a look, see what's out here, if there's anything new, because you never know. Got a little bit longer time because Mrs. Whisperer's just come outside and she just said she's seen one she likes. And it's always a winner when you can get your wife on board to get into the hobby, because it means you can spend a little bit longer time in the garden. Well, looking at the fish, that is. So we've basically come up here to get some carbon, to change the carbon, and Mrs. Whisperer is like, there's a fish that she really likes in here and you've asked for it to be bowled up and have a look at. You're not buying any fish today though. Even Mrs. Whisperer's getting her hands on, look. She does like a tancho by the looks of it.
Look at that.
Oh, that is banging. That is banging indeed. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I like that as well. That would be a nice little project fish as well, the size of that, I think, Mrs. Whisperer. Not gonna lie. Do you want it? Brad's doing his morning routine of feeding the fish, look. They absolutely love it. These are a bargain as well. £75 each. That's what I'm trying to get Mrs. Whisperer to have a look at, because the tancho's not as cheap as what these are. She's certainly thinking. What are you saying, Mrs. Whisperer?
You can feed them, Rad. You can feed them. I won't take it today, even if I...
All right, okay. Well, then you can have a look.
You going to think about it or not?
I think I'm going to think about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, Mrs. Whisperer, it's a good job that you are thinking about it, because
We've got no room. I know.
Well, yeah, it'd be a good idea. Let's sort out what we got first, and then we can come back up. And if you really want it, you can put the name on the fish anyway, but we can have a bit of a think, and we can come back up when we've sorted out all the ponds we need to sort out, because I think that's priority. That being said, technology is good when it works, isn't it? Love the sound of that beep, as they say. One thing I've noticed, look, looks like loads of koi food up there, and they've had a bit of a change of display round here as well, so happy days. Don't forget the receipt though, love. Perfect. Cheers, Dave, me handsome.
You're welcome.
Right then, ladies and gents, so it's the morning after. On the way home yesterday, it was so bad in traffic, being a bank holiday weekend. We decided to stop off and get some lunch, but these are the bits that I picked up. So I got a 25 kilo bag of carbon to do the big blues, and I've also got 2 sets of the 3-stage dechlorination system cartridges, so I'll be fitting them today. Also, I got the box out because I have got someone coming to collect the fish today, so that there's all ready to rock and roll. The bags, the bands, the tape. But one thing I also got as well was we picked up one of the stepping stones from Southwest Koi. We've got a few of these in the garden already. As a lot of you know, we have got that sort of Art Deco feeling going on over here, and I had a little bit of an idea to pop one down here somewhere. So we've got one there currently at the moment, even though Mrs. Whisperer wants free to go there because she likes things in freeze for some reason. But that being said, we've got the bench here. She'll probably want free to go across here as well, knowing Mrs. Whisperer. But that being said, I'm going to pop it down here somewhere and then start changing these cartridge blocks over here and then inside of the filter house itself. Changing the 3-stage dechlorination system. One thing a lot of people don't do really is check the water that's coming out of their supply to the pond. Whether if you use one of these sort of systems, I'm just battling a few of the cobwebs here a second. But yeah, whether if you use one of these sort of systems or not, a lot of people just put these systems in place and they don't actually use them to check, to make sure they're actually doing the job they need to do. Because when you first put them up there, you think, yeah, I'm all right for 12 months or so. But unless you're checking on a regular basis, just to make sure they're doing what they should do, you never actually really know. So I done a water test the other day, and after bypassing the big blue. So it runs through this 3-stage first, and then it goes to the big blue, and I was still letting in 0.8 ppm of chlorine into the system. So for anyone that keeps fish, you should have 0 chlorine in the pond at all times. But the first stage of this filtration is purely the 5 micron ppm sediment chamber. So basically that collects all the crap that's in our drinking water, and when you see the state of what this is, when it should be like that, I mean, depending where you live, different stuff in the water, but I mean that is just really thick with clay and iron, and the water around my local area is very soft, but makes you wonder what we drink really when there's that much crap in it. But most of them come supplied with this chuck key. There's several different types on the market these days. When I was at Burton's the other week, they actually had some up there. But there's a few koi dealers around that do them. So the second stage is where, even though that's disgusting as well. Yeah, so the second stage is granulated active carbon. So the active carbon, for people that don't know, and I don't know every bit of information about this, there's a lot more people out there that know more than me. Basically what this does is removes all of your chlorine from the water tap supply. But I do know one thing, depending where you live in the world, there is different types of chlorine. So there's chlorine and chloramine. So you need to make sure, work out what you've got in your water tap supply to work out what sort of cartridges that you need. But most people will only have chlorine in their tap supply. So activated carbon or bone char will do that. It's a lot easier changing these than what it is the big blues. But the blues, which are right here next to me, they're not that bad to change, and I'll show you that in a minute. But let me get this done and then I'll be back with you shortly. And the idea behind me having this system in place before the big blue, most koi keepers, when you start the hobby, you buy one of these and you think they're going to be the best thing in the world. Well, they certainly help, but unless you change these, the cartridges, on a regular basis, they certainly will start bypassing and letting chlorine into the system, because they're just not man enough on their own. But most koi keepers buy one of these to start with because they're cheaper than the big blues. But in effect, the reason why I kept this one, or used this sort of system, is because it's easier to replace these before it goes into the big blue, and most of the chlorine gets hit with these first cartridges, and they're a lot cheaper to replace than the big bags of carbon in the big blue. So the idea behind my theory is that having this in place prolongs the life of that there, especially if you've already got it. So I open up this valve, so then I can run some water through, instead of going through the big blue and getting that carbon stuck in the blue. It just runs out the system. You can see the water filling up here now in the first stage. You need to press the top buttons just to release a bit of the air out of the system. You can hear that bubbling away there. So yeah, do the same in here. What I was going to do was do both the big blues at the same time. So as you can see, I've got a bigger blue here. Just make sure I got the water supply off. Checking on my meter. But it's definitely essential to keep an eye on checking your actual systems, whatever you've got in place. I don't really care what sort of system that you've got, just as a little bit of bear in mind sort of thing. Just go and check. I mean, this ain't very old and that's filthy as well. Most koi dealers these days all have these systems which you can buy from them. Sometimes they get a bit stiff. That one certainly is a bit stiff. Like I was saying, it's a lot easier changing these on a regular basis than what it is changing that big blue. There she goes. fire it back up and check for leaks. So I do like, you can see this water trickling in to start with, but you can hear the air bellowing out. But whenever you replace anything, the air gets into all of the systems, so I actually have to remove the air from here as well in a minute. So this one needs to be done the old-fashioned way. So yeah, I need to get all this in the bin. Then we're going to have a go at doing the big blues. Hopefully I can show you that as well. Look at the state of that. So yeah, the last thing I do after I've changed the big blues, and unfortunately, I don't know why, but when I was recording with these microphones, it must have just come out of the slot. So basically on the phone that I use to do all of my recording, you push the DJI microphone into the slot, and yeah, the sound, the picture quality was absolutely terrible. I set it all up so you could see how I changed the big blues, showed you how I took the lid off, showed you how I sprayed the water up to make it as easy as I possibly could, and the footage is just absolutely terrible. I don't know if it's the sun glare on it as well, and the sound's completely terrible, so I haven't kept that in the video. Like you can see, hopefully there's a few little pictures or overlays of me doing it here on this little clip. But yeah, the last thing to do is to actually check what you've done is actually removing the chlorine from the system itself. There's a few ways you can do that. You can buy one of these test kits, which is a total chlorine reader, which will give you the exact amount of chlorine that you're putting into your system. This is a hanometer. Loads of different places do them on the internet, eBay, koi dealers, Finch filtrations. There is absolutely loads of places that do them these days. The downside about them, buying the unit is very cheap, 65 to 70 pound. Well, not cheap, but once you bought it, it will last you forever. The downside is the cost of the reagents. So you get 20 in a pack, and I believe now they're roughly around 25 quid. So each time you do a test, it costs you just over the £1 a test, does that make sense? So the only way to actually get a complete true reading is by using one of these meters. You can do it a cheaper way. So for the people that don't want to spend out on this, you can buy yourself some little tablets, and they're called DPD number 4 tablets. You can get them off eBay. Plenty of places do them as well. But what they'll do, you take a sample of water, and if the water changes from clear to pink, it means you've got chlorine in the system or in the pond. But it won't tell you how much you've got in the pond, but it will give you an indication to let you know if you've got chlorine in there. So I'm going to run a test here now, see what I've got in the systems itself, to make sure what I've done is removed all the chlorine. Then I'll go and have a cup of tea, I think. And when you're running these tests, you want to be taking the water supply from your trickle in, or if you're just topping up once a week, take the sample from that, not from your pond itself. These little test kits, basically simple to use, dead simple to use. Just make sure the glass bottle on them is completely crystal clear. So what it does to start with, I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but it says add C1. Well, C1 is your first sample of your just pure water on itself. So you add that to the system, press the button, and then I don't know if you can see that, but it says add C2. Well, what C2 is the actual chemical that will let you know, or the reagent will let you know. Oh, I need to get some of them as well. I've only got 3 of them left. It's because I was doing a few tests the other day, because I was trying to work out what the issue is when I was dealing with a parasite. But yeah, so the reagent basically lets you know if there's chlorine in the system. Just tamper it in until all of the chemicals gone inside of the glass bottle. And hopefully out of this system now, we're looking for absolutely 0 chlorine in the system. And if it turns pink straight away, then it means there's no point even doing a test, because you know there's chlorine in the system. But just give it a little bit of a stir around. I just tilt it backwards and forwards a few times, and then add it into the chicken, the Hana chicken, and then hold and press, and then you got to put that for 2 minutes 30 seconds, and then it will give you the exact amount of chlorine. So I'll be back with you when we got a complete reading of what this is saying. So yeah, that's all been done, sorted, happy days. But I have got someone due in a second to pick up one of the fish. So I've got the measuring tub out, and all the box and bands are all ready. I probably won't get it on camera, but I might get a few clips. So yeah, that's the first fish gone. The Issa shower that I had, that one's gone to a new home now today. I did manage to get some oxygen as well, so I did manage to bag it up properly, and yeah, happy days. One more fish is getting picked up in a couple of days time, and then that there will allow me to start moving some of the fish out of this pond to put over into the main pond over here. So that's what you call happy days. And because the sun's beginning to be a bit of a pain for me to start filming, because it gets to that time of day here at the Whisperer's house, as the sun comes round and I'm trying to film, it makes it very difficult. So all that yibbida yabbida being said, hope everyone's doing well. But as they say, if I don't see you in a week, I'll see you for a window. Koi Whisperer, over and out. Bosh.